Hi, my name is Heidi Peck, and I'm going to talk about how to tune a clarinet today. Okay, so hopefully you have a tuner, right? Mine looks like this, and they come in different shapes and sizes. And this is your tuner. Most of them are electronic. When I was growing up, they were not all electronic, but they are nowadays. So anyway, the most important thing is that it says 440 right here. There is a dial that you can move that number up and down, 441, 442, but 440 is the standard for American orchestras, and where the A is set at 440. So that's an important thing. If not, then your tuning will sort of be all off with whatever instrument you're tuning if it's not at 440. Okay, with this particular one, it tells me the note that I'm playing or saying or singing, and the dial tells me sharp or flat. If it's dead in the middle, it's right in tune. Okay, so that's a little introduction to the tuner. So I'm going to put that down. I'm going to play my instrument and see where that needle is, if it's sharp, flat, or in tune. So let's say that I'm sharp. Okay, so with my instrument, the clarinet, you're going to take your your barrel, and you're going to move it out a little bit, and it doesn't have to be a tremendous amount, like the length of a fingernail, but not much. And you can play again. Oh, I'm still a little sharp. You can pull out a little more. If you pull out so far that you see cork, you've gone too far. So I would not pull out that far. If there's cork, push it back in a little bit, and maybe try another joint on the clarinet. Okay, so let's get to that. So now maybe there's a certain register that's a little bit out of tune more than the rest of the instrument. You can also pull out here at the middle joint. That helps sometimes. You can pull that out a little bit, because that's a sensitive joint that keeps the clarinet together. You can also pull out down here at your bell, although that would probably, I don't know, that might be the last one that I would try to do is the bell. But whatever you can do to get yourself to play in tune. Okay, so those are 3 areas, and that's if you're sharp. If you are flat, which means you need to raise the pitch, you are going to do the opposite. I'm going to push in as far as I can. And so in this case, I'm going to make sure all my joints are pushed together. That's another thing that can happen when you first put your clarinet together initially. If you don't push your joints together all the way, you might go to tune and oh, I'm not in tune. Well, that's because I haven't pushed it together the entire way, and that's why I'm a little bit more out of tune today. So just make sure you push your clarinet all the way together. Okay, and so if you're flat, now you're saying, oh, I'm flat, I'm pushed in all the way, and I'm still flat. Well, that could be for a couple of different reasons. One is that you're just warming up and you're just starting to play. And that's why you see musicians warm up in the orchestra, and they're blowing into their instruments. They're getting hot air into their instruments to raise the pitch. And so that's called warming up and getting the pitch of your instrument up so that you can play with the other musicians. And at that point, you may either be in tune or a little sharp, and you may have to readjust again. Okay, and the other reason is a reed that can be too soft, and that can make your clarinet play flat. And so that means you may need a harder reed. Maybe you're a beginner and you're sort of consistently flat. That can also be a little bit of breath support. It could also mean a harder reed. So there's a couple different factors there that a private teacher could tell you what the reason is of why that is. That could be why you're flat. However, if you have a hard enough reed, a professional instrument, you're using a tuner, it should be it should be easy to figure out if I'm sharp or flat, and be able to adjust your instrument. Okay, so that is some basics on how to tune the clarinet, and thanks for watching.